Hi, I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Theory Tuition series where we're working together step by step through each of the ABRSM Theory grades. There are lots of resources available to help you if you go to my website. If you visit sharonbill.com, you'll find some free PDF information sheets. You can download those in US letter or A4 and they accompany each step of this series to help you. You'll find a page there with links to all of my YouTube video tutorials, and you can also find out about the books that I have available. I've written an exam technique guide, how to take your ABRSM Music Theory Exam. It's full of tips and techniques on how to best prepare for your exam and also how to make the best use of your time when you're working through your exam paper on exam day. So if you go to sharonbill.com, you'll find it's all there. If you can like and subscribe and share, that would be really fab. And now we're going to crack on with the next question of the 2018 Grade 2 Practice Paper A. If you turn with me to page 5, and we'll begin answering question 6. So I'm hoping you've had a go of this already. Best to have a go, first of all. You'll learn more thoroughly, even if you make some mistakes. And so let's look through this together. So we're asked to rewrite the bass clef notes into the treble clef, keeping the pitch the same. So the thing to be careful of here is that you don't end up jumping octaves. We need to keep the pitch exactly the same. And the best way to do this is to keep middle C as a reference point. So middle C is at the top of the bass clef, the bottom of the treble. Imagine on a piano keyboard, just imagine you've sort of met in the middle. There's your treble clef, bottom of the treble, top of the bass. And so if you keep that as a focal point, then you won't go far wrong. So for example here, we have the B flat below middle C. And so there's the middle C line, there's the B flat below that, and you're not in some other octave, which would be incorrect. So here we are on the C, D, E flat above middle C, C, D, E flat. So there's middle C line, C, D, E flat, and then we know that we're in the correct octave. So here we're below middle C, so we're obviously going to need some ledger lines here. Here's C, B, A, G, that's the G below middle C. And so let's start with middle C, B is the space, A, G. There we go. Now here, if you weren't sure, we've got exactly the same, oh, sorry, no we haven't. I'm doing reverse image, silly me. We're a step away here, so that's another way of looking at it. We're a step lower here, we're a step lower here. However, middle C, D, middle C, D, and we can see there we're just next door notes, just sort of keeping a little bit of relationship between the notes in mind, if that helps. Let's carry on. So here, middle C, B, A. So here's middle C, we're going lower than that, C, B, A, so we're on the line, and then of course we need to flatten it. There we go. Oh, that's a bit short. Let's just tidy that up a bit. Now then, we're asked in which major key are all of these notes found. So let's see what clues we've got. We've got a B flat, we've got an E flat, and we've got an A flat, and that tells us we're in the key of E flat major because E flat major has B flats, E flats and A flats. So there we go, E flat major. There we go. Next question. So question 7, I always like these rewriting and doubling or halving time and beaming notes. It's something quite satisfying about tidying up all the beats. I'm not sure if that's helpful to you. However, let's get to this together and hopefully you'll enjoy it too. So here we've got 3 crotchet beats, 3/4 notes per bar. We're asked to rewrite the melody using notes of twice the value. It should sound exactly the same, we're just changing the unit value. They've done the time signature for us, so they've done all the hard thinking, and we can see we're now counting 3 minim beats, 3 half notes per bar. Everything's doubled. And so what we do, We don't colour in the crotchet, it becomes a minim. So dotted crotchet, dotted minim, dotted quarter note, dotted half note. We lose the stem to make that double from a quaver to a crotchet, from an eighth note to a quarter note. We don't colour in, and so here we're going to lose these tails, lose this beam like we did here to make these into crotchets or quarter notes. This one we won't colour in, this one we won't colour in, that will become a minim. Here we lose one of these beams, and so instead of becoming semi-quavers, these become quavers or eighth notes. Again, we won't colour that one in, that becomes a minim instead of a crotchet. So we won't colour that one in, and we'll just have a dotted crotchet, a dotted half note. Lose the tail, so that becomes a crotchet. Don't colour that one in, that becomes a minim or a half note. Don't colour that one in, and then to double this one, we lose the stem, and so that becomes a semi-breve. And so we've done the hard thinking now. And so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to get the note heads in place. You can do this in any order you like. I'm keeping everything aligned to their version just because I don't want to get lost. I already know not to colour that one in. I know not to colour that one in. These can be coloured in. I'm just going to lose a beam. I just prefer to keep everything aligned so I know I'm not going to get lost. I'm not going to run out of space either. I've got enough to be thinking about without worrying about those things. Don't colour that one in. Don't colour in. Don't colour in. So now I can deal with the stems. So these are going to be just crotchets or quarter notes. No need for a beam now. That becomes a minim. That becomes a minim. So these can be beamed together still, but I only need one beam because these are quavers or eighth notes now. That just needs a stem, that just needs a stem, that just needs a stem, that needs a stem, that doesn't need anything because that's now become a whole note or a semi-breve. There we go, nice and easy, job done. Now let's look at this next question. So question 8, this shows you how the exam paper is slightly changed in its format. We now no longer give these their full definition. We answer these in the context of a multiple choice. I'm not sure that makes it any easier because sometimes there are red herrings here that just throw you off your guard. So just be careful to read these thoroughly. And also, please bear in mind, this is all of the performance directions and musical terms from grade 1 and grade 2. It's a cumulative, so the list gets pretty long as you go through the grades. I always recommend that you group things thematically in your revision, so anything to do with slow from grades 1 and 2, group together. Anything to do with fast or loud or quiet, whatever makes sense to you to group these together. You could even colour code them to help you. In the PDF document, just at the end, I give you a little bit of a clue about how to do that in your PDF document. There we go. So let's have a go through these. Have a go. If you're not sure, you can either have a guess or you can just use this as revision and look up the answers if you want to, or I'll just go through these with you now. So andante, at a medium speed or at a walking pace. Giacoso, now that seems very onomatopoeia. It sort of sounds like it is. It's a jolly sort of sounding word and it means playful and merry. Just to my abstract mind, that seems to make sense. Now we know that largo in grade 1 meant slow. Larghetto means rather slow. So not perhaps as slow as largo. PP. Now P means quiet, piano. So PP is issimo, which is extra, pianissimo. And so this means very quiet. Grazioso, again, you can't see a massive difference between the Italian and the English. It means graceful, and you can see the link in the word I think there. That's not too difficult to remember. Now here, this little triangle over the note, we first came across that in grade 1, and it means accent the note. So there we go, that's that completed. We'll look at the last question in the next video. I do hope this is helpful to you. I hope you're enjoying it. I'm certainly enjoying working through it with you. If you could give me a like, that would be really super, and please do subscribe to keep updated. Please also do visit sharonbill.com and have a look around that website to see all the resource and information that's available to help you there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.